Good morning, good morning. It's a happy menopause awareness month. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to share daily. Remember, you don't have to watch these, but please feel free to. Symptoms. So in no particular order, number one, spatial awareness. Now, I've always been a driver. I love driving. I get a real kick out of trying to get into the tiniest parking space, straight line. Loved it, absolutely loved it. And then one day, I couldn't park my car. Honestly, I must have been in the middle of the road and reversed into this space about 20 times. Now, you could have parked a truck in it, but I was up on the curb every single time. And eventually I sat in the middle of the road and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, if anyone is watching from a window, they must be pissing themselves laughing. And this went on for months. And then I started to share that with various friends, and everybody else had exactly the same problem. In fact, some people stopped trying to reverse and would only go into a parking space head on. So, lovely, lovely ladies, it does get better, I promise you. Number one in the bag. Have a great day. Hello, lovely people. Symptom number two, in no particular order, itchy skin. Now, when this one kicked in, I really thought I had fleas in the house. I was washing everything, towels, blankets, sheets, cushions, throws, anything and everything. Nothing was changing it. So then I'll change my washing powder. I was pulling my hair out like, what is going on? And then got to the point where if I took my bra off, you could see where I'd had a bra because these huge red welts were there. Same with the tops of the knickers and socks. One day I decided to go to the cinema with a girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Of course, when you're at home itching and scratching, nobody really pays any attention. But when you're in the cinema, a little movement like that is enough for everyone to know something's up. So I will tell you, it did just disappear. I definitely feel that aloe vera helped. And I believe with that loss and fluctuating hormone, that lovely estrogen, that was it. Good morning, good morning. And in no particular order, number three, dizziness. Now, this one went on and off for a few years, but the first time it happened to me, I was out with a group of gorgeous, lovely ladies, power walking around the common, a little training session. And I was putting one foot in front of the other, and all of a sudden it was a bit squiffy, and I felt a bit lightheaded and didn't feel very good. And then it kind of disappeared, came back, went to the doctors, gave me some exercises to do, crystals in your ear, all of that. Came, went, didn't really think much more of it. And then it resurfaced again a few years later. I was working for a gym company and I was in their PT studio, and I bent over, and the next thing I knew, I was on the deck. Had to go home, put myself to bed for a couple of days. It was kind of a bit like that drunk feeling, like, whoa, what's going on? Anyway, glad to say it's all gone. Have a great day. Good morning, lovely people. Well, today is symptom number four. I've got quite a few to choose from, but today I've decided to discuss breathlessness. Now, when this one first hit me, I woke up in the middle of the night like someone was sitting on my chest and I was unable to breathe. It's a really scary sensation. And then it disappeared, but it kept coming back. And I was really worried about it. Sometimes it was even during the day, I would just be doing something and I'd go to catch a breath and it wasn't there. Really scary. And then one day it was gone. So I feel like all of these symptoms, they fluctuate just like your hormones. Have a great day. Bye. Good morning, lovely people. In no particular order, symptom number five, panic attack. So a trip to the dentist, which isn't the greatest of things at the best of times, became an absolute nightmare. I was due to have a root canal. I sat in the chair, having never had any problems in the dentist ever. went to put a piece of plastic in my mouth and I lost it. I completely lost it. I was climbing out of that chair, crying, heart pumping, I mean real palpitations, and I was like, what's happening to me? I was absolutely freaked out to the hill, completely freaked out, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And that happened to me a couple of times, but I have to say from that moment onwards I really got into my meditation more than I've ever done, and it has been my lifesaver. Have a great day. Take care. Bye. Hello, lovely people. How are we all doing? I don't know if you can see my friends in the pond behind, but it's a beautiful day again. So in no particular order, symptom number 6, anxiety. Now this is something that I've never really suffered with, and to be quite honest, yeah, I'm in my 60s now, and I'd say menopause has been going on for a good 20 years. It comes and it goes with all its different symptoms, but the anxiety one I really noticed when I went to see a band, and normally I'm right up front, getting on down, having some fun, and I really struggled to get in the middle, anywhere near to the front. I just wanted to be by the exits. I was constantly checking where the exits were and feeling really just unsettled instead of being in the moment and really enjoying myself. So again, deep breaths, really learning to focus on that breath out, just bringing my attention to the moment, and hopefully just keep eradicating those feelings. Have a great day. Hello, and a good morning to you. And it's a beautiful sunny morning today. So in no particular order, symptom number 7, sleep deprivation. Now, if you're a mum, you know all about that, and I sympathize with you. Fast forward, menopause. Now I was going through Groundhog Day, 2:43 a.m. day in, day out for months. It was wearing me down, and I've always had 6 a.m. clients, and I've prided myself on being punctual and very professional. And this particular day I had a group, and this one client said to me, I'm not paying up front anymore because you're always late. Pain, absolute pain. I was shell shocked, and in the end I had to give up my 6 o'clock clients in the morning because I couldn't cope. And eventually I found some herbal sleeping tablets, and it helped to break the pattern. Have a great day. Hello, lovely people. So in no particular order, symptom number 8, red mist. Now, I've joked around with clients and friends about this, but when it actually happens to you, it's really quite shocking. So there I was in a supermarket car park, and this woman very innocently asked me if I would move over. And normally I'd be like, yeah, not a problem. But I didn't. I leapt out of my car, and the language that was coming out of my mouth, firstly, I didn't even know I knew language like that, but I was like a screaming banshee. I was out of control. And in my head, I'm going, Anne, calm down. But I couldn't control it. So what I'm trying to say to you is just be kind to yourself. It's your hormones. And when you're in your 50s and you got it all going on, and you have, but you're scheduling work, clients, kids, partners, you've got to be kind to yourself. Really, please, don't beat yourself up. Be kind. Oh, hello, lovely people. And in no particular order, symptom number 9, forgetting people's names. Now, I know we all have those moments, and generally I would tap on that person's arm and say their name 3 times. Great tip, and it really helped to imprint that name. But this particular occasion, I had a wonderful group of lovely ladies that I train, and we had a new member, and her name is Rachel. And for about a year I kept calling her Emma, and even though it was really funny and we were all giggling about it, inside I was like, there's something seriously wrong here. This is going on for too long. And in the back of my mind, my mum, love you mum, my mum has Alzheimer's, and yeah, that's a really tough one. And knowing that we have all these estrogen receptors in our brain, it's quite scary, but it does get better. Thank you. Good morning, lovely people. And in no particular order, symptom number 10, receding gums, itchy gums, bleeding gums. Now, I've always looked after my teeth, brush them twice a day, floss daily. And every time I went to the dentist, they were telling me that they were receding even more, and they were bleeding, I mean, quite heavily, like what's going on again? And to the point where I had a crown, and where my gums had shrunk back so much, it was exposing the lovely metal behind it at the top of the gum line. Oh my gosh, how awful is that? To the point where a couple of people said, oh, I think you've got something in your tooth. Oh, that's a really horrible feeling. Just feeling like you've got no control of what's going on. So loss of estrogen again in the body. Good morning, lovely people. And in no particular order, symptom number 11, loss of confidence. Now, you know, you've got your regular clothes that you get up and you put on, and you know you look okay. But on the odd occasion, you put them on and you think, oh, that doesn't feel quite right. And it's exactly the same clothes, but you've had a shift. So from my own experience and that of many of my clients when we talk about it, that's that feeling when you wake up and all of a sudden you're as flat as a pancake, you have no motivation, you've got no energy, you feel lifeless, you feel invisible, you feel completely overwhelmed. It's like a big cloud over your head and you feel heavy and it's hard to shift. So in my classes, I make a real point of having a little exercise, and it's a change of state. It's a little confidence booster, and it really helps going forward. And it's hello, lovely people. And in no particular order, symptom number 12, tearful outpourings, unexplainable. The only way I can explain them is a bit like when you're having due for your period. And you know it's coming, but it still catches you unaware. And it's the same thing, it's like the red mist, it just catches you out. And I just know that there's been occasions when people are just talking about sensitive things, like things on the news or just a sad story, and I'm just in floods and floods of uncontrollable tears. And I have to say, as quick as it goes. So again, it's all about being kind to yourself. Recognize what's going on and just take a step back and remove yourself from any situation that really doesn't make you feel good, and watch a rom-com. Take care. Good morning, lovely people. And it's a very fresh October morning. So in no particular order, symptom number 13, painful joints. Now, when this one rocked up into my world, this was really quite devastating. You know, as a fitness coach, I'm used to bouncing out of bed, and I love what I do. I love helping women to feel good about themselves. But when you're struggling yourself, it's really hard to, you know, pick yourself up. So I had lots of tests for it and everything seemed to be fine. But while it was happening, my ankles, my knees, my hips were getting stiffer and stiffer. I couldn't even bend over. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, couldn't pick up, couldn't hold the kettle. Putting the key in the door was really difficult. And this definitely went on and off for about 2 years. But happy to say, all gone. Have a great Good morning, lovely people. And in no particular order, symptom number 14, alcohol. I'm sorry. Okay, so I've always been a brandy and coke kind of girl, old school, but I've had to knock it on the head. It was really disturbing my sleep, and that means my body's not resting, it's not restoring, and it's not repairing. And during menopause and beyond, the body systems are already struggling to regulate. Your liver is on overdrive, which means you're not absorbing the nutrients that you need for your muscles, for all your systems that have been looking after you. This is a time to really check in with yourself. So if you are using alcohol as a coping mechanism, take a note, have a look, see if you are like depressed for a few days afterwards, because it really impacts you for about 2 or 3 days afterwards. And there is no simple solution. You know, start meditating, start addressing, and look within. Good morning, lovely people. And as you can tell by my attire, winter is coming. So in no particular order, symptom number 15. Now, I've got to be really honest with you here. This has been really triggering for me. Cortisol and trauma. So whether you've suffered with childhood trauma, loss of a best friend, loss of a family member, illness, difficult teenagers, children leaving home, elderly parents, divorce, all these things are trauma for the body. And during menopause and beyond, our body is really struggling with that stress hormone cortisol, and it impacts us in many, many different ways. Now, I've only got 60 seconds here, so I'm going to have to follow this up. So what I'm trying to say is that we really need to check in with ourselves. Just be aware of what's going on around us, what's impacting us, and protect your mind, protect your body. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, lovely people, and in no particular order, symptoms 15/16. So yesterday we touched on the fact that during menopause, our bodies are struggling to regulate the stress in our body. So that's our fight and flight hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. So most people I know, clients and friends in their 50s and 60s, are all juggling about 30 balls in the air at once. So there's a lot of underlying stress there. So even though you think you're dealing with it, internally you clearly are not. So this is a really important thing to recognize. So we can quite comfortably overtrain, we can starve our bodies, but these are the two things that we really don't need to do. It can impact us again on another level. So we really have to think about what we're going to do going forward. So I personally, in my 50s, suffered with some trauma, and the impact on my body was huge. I'll save that for tomorrow. Good morning, lovely people, and in no particular order, symptoms 16/17. So due to the chronic stress my body experienced in my mid-50s, I developed insulin resistance. Up until this point, I didn't really know what that meant. Insulin resistance is when the cells in the fat, in the muscles and the liver struggle to respond in the way that they should. And this sends signals to the pancreas, where we regulate our blood sugar levels, to give us more and more insulin. So this basically for me whipped up all my menopausal symptoms into some kind of frenzy, and from here I developed type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, non-alcoholic fatty liver, and huge amounts of belly fat. So as you can imagine, that was quite devastating news. So I had to take some drastic actions, so I'll save them tomorrow. Hello, lovely people, and in no particular order, symptom number 18, coping with my symptoms. Now I had to dive deep within and become my own CEO, and from this I discovered intermittent fasting for menopausal women. Now I've always had a sugar addiction. It's been my coping mechanism, and this is where we have to be kind to ourselves, because trying to eradicate these habits are really difficult because they're so deeply ingrained, years, decades. And remember, the body is on autopilot, what you think, what you feel. So shoveling that sugar was always my reaction. So over the last 3 years, I have been building up my intermittent fasting to 16, 18 hours and sometimes 20 hours. This is a lifestyle choice. This is not a diet, and if anything, I eat more than I've ever eaten, and it has eradicated my high cholesterol, pre-diabetes and body fat. Good morning, lovely people. Now I've been lying low for over a week with a nasty cough and cold. So tons of ginger, honey, lemon and sea moss. Yes, sea moss, not chocolate, sea moss. Now sea moss wouldn't be my normal, hey, let's all have some sea moss together. But the vitamins and minerals in sea moss are extraordinary and a wonderful immune booster. So I suggest you get your head around that one. So during my lying low, there's been no social media, no news. I've just been resting, really practicing what I preach. Rest, restore. Really working on that nervous system. Now I know that we've been talking about menopause symptoms, and there's plenty to share. However, let's just say hot flushes and night sweats, they're ugly, but you know what? They go away. I'm more concerned with the loss of muscle during menopause and midlife. So let's talk that this week. Hello, lovely people. Just taking a little moment in that sunshine. Little bit heaven. Okay, so I just want to touch on sarcopenia today. Loss of muscle, a Greek word meaning poverty of flesh. Very appropriate for Halloween. But basically it means that we are losing muscle naturally as we get older. But we have to counterbalance that with strength training and resistance training, whichever form you want to take. Do not delay. This is something not to be messed around with. We have to really focus on getting connected mentally and physically with our bodies. So let's throw in menopause there with its naturally fluctuating hormones. Estrogen and collagen are affecting our tendons and ligaments, which affects our joint stability, and then testosterone affects our muscles, our ability to build muscles.